Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Can Manchester United win the Premier League title? Now, I'm very sceptical that we'll win it this season, but we are certainly in the title race because we are second, just 2 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand. If we do win the Premier League, it will be our 21st title in total, and it will be the first time we've won the Premier League since 2013. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says we are not in the title race yet, but he says if we are challenging at the top come March, then we are in the title race. But I certainly think that we can win a trophy this season. It's very imperative that we get our first trophy on the board under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, because we haven't won a trophy for almost 4 years. I think minimum we will get a top 4, a top 3 finish. But like I've already gone through with you before, top 3, top 4, win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Man United, and then that would give us something to build on. You know, we obviously beat Wolves yesterday night 1-0. The goal came from Marcus Rashford in the 93rd minute of stoppage time. The goal was very fortuitous because obviously it took a deflection off Romain Saiz. Rashford's got 51 goals now in his career. It was a lovely threaded ball though from Bruno Fernandes building up to the goal. All that matters is the 3 points, but it certainly weren't the best of performances. That was our 3rd win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. We are unbeaten in our last 8 or 9 games now. We've been very, very good away from home this season. We haven't lost an away game yet in the Premier League this season. It was a shame that we didn't beat Leicester last weekend, because if we had done, that would have been 11 away wins in a row in the Premier League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does deserve a lot of credit, like I've gone through with you before, because this season he's got us to the Carabao Cup semi-final. He's also got us up to second in the league, so you've got to give him a lot of credit for that. You've got to give him a lot of credit what he did in his first full season, which was last season, because he got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us 3rd, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. I think his decision making in some games has been very, very good, so you've got to credit him for that. There again, knowing a lot of his games at Man United, his decision making has been poor and he's made mistakes, and that's cost us games. Our record against the top 6 sides was very impressive last season. He's made some good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million at the club. In the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, he brought Bruno Fernandes in, and he recommended Odion Ighalo in on loan. And in the summer transfer window of this year, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Diallo Traore. Amad Diallo Traore should be joining the football club in January. So he has brought, quite a few young players in. I like the way Ole has promoted the youth. And we've enjoyed good periods under him. We're enjoying a good period now. We went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season. We was 14 unbeaten in the Premier League. So yeah, there's definitely positives to take. It's obviously been up and down under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era so far. Obviously, we've had good results and we've also had bad results. We've had some good performances, we've had some bad performances. I still don't know if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the long-term manager for Man United. Obviously, time's going to tell. Now, earlier on this season, there was a lot of Man United fans demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the club, and I was one of them, but I think a lot of United fans now have changed their perception, reflecting on our good vein of form recently. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority, is leading the club to long-term success. This is his second full season at Manchester United. And reflecting now on he's been at the club, he has learnt quite a bit and he has gained some managerial experience, because he has been Man United manager now for just over 2 years. Earlier on this month, it was his 2-year anniversary at the club. We appointed Ole in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We give him the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. You can say that we did give him the job a bit too early, so yeah, I have said a few times this season that he is out of his depth at the football club. Ole has managed over 100 games for Man United in all competitions, and he's under contract with the club until 2022. As you all know, we have already revealed our transfer plans. It says we could have a busy January transfer window. You know, we could make maybe 1, 2, 3 signings in January. But there has been a lot of players on our agenda. Now, Solskjaer has recently made a new centre-back his number 1 transfer priority. But he said the other week that there's 4 positions we're looking to strengthen up, and that's right wing. We're looking to get a holding midfielder in, a centre-half like I've just mentioned, and a right-back. Ed Woodward recently changed our transfer strategy. Hopefully Solskjaer gets the backing he deserves next year by the board, because during the summer transfer window he wasn't backed enough by the board. Is he? And Solskjaer showed his frustration quite a few times towards the board during the summer transfer window. And I did say, didn't I, that Solskjaer has been facing the same problem as what Mourinho was facing, because Mourinho made it clear to our board in the summer of 2018 that he wanted to recommend a centre-half in. He obviously never got that centre-half in, did he, Mourinho? And that's one of the main reasons it didn't work out for him, but there was obviously a few other reasons as well, because he had bad disputes with our board and he had bad disputes with the top players. And I can honestly say we did appoint Mourinho in too late. You know, you can say we should have appointed him in when Ferguson left. But the board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years, because our recruitment policy has been poor. None of the managers have been backed enough since Ferguson left. A lot of the players we've brought in the last 7.5 years or so haven't been the right calibre players for Manchester United, and there's obviously players that we've targeted in the past who we should have got and we didn't get, so obviously that's disappointing in that aspect. But Ed Woodward has come out several times to support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't he? Moises Caicedo, it's looking very, very imminent now. He's going to be coming to Man United. is going to be our first signing of the January transfer window. He said that a deal has been agreed for him. He's already revealed that he wants to join Man United, but I don't think the contract has yet been agreed. He said he's set to sign a 5-year contract with Man United, and it recently said that he was undergoing his medical with Man United. And we're going to get him for like 4.5 million with, I think, add-ons included. Moises Caicedo said that he loves N'Golo Kante, but he still wants to come to Man United. It recently said that Chelsea are looking to hijack our move, and they have been in negotiations. It also mentions that Brighton and Newcastle have been interested in Moises Caicedo. Dairo Extra said not so long ago that negotiations were at an advanced stage for Moises Caicedo. And we outbid AC Milan and RB Leipzig. Now he's 19, he's a holding midfielder, plays for Independiente del Valle. Made his debut for Independiente del Valle around 14 months ago now. I think he's played for Ecuador around 4 times. Played in Ecuador's 4-2 win against Uruguay back in October. If he comes to Man United, he will be the second Ecuadorian to represent the club after Antonio Valencia. There's obviously been a couple of right-backs on our agenda as well. Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid, he's been on our agenda. He's actually banned until March. Recently, Max Aarons from Norwich has been on our agenda. I'll give you more of an update on him on one of my videos. Might be my next video, I'll give you an update on him. Obviously, Jack Grealish, he's on our agenda. I think we could go in for Jack Grealish in the January transfer window. He said that Villa are expecting bids from the likes of us and Manchester City. He said not so long ago that Liverpool could make a move for him and possibly see him as a potential replacement for Salah, because it did say Salah was unhappy. We was in for Jack Grealish during the summer, but Villa were demanding £80 million and that valuation put us off. Now I think he's valued at around £100 million, reflecting on his good performances. Back in September, don't forget, Jack Grealish signed a 5-year contract with Villa. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. Most of the time now, he does play on that left-hand side. He recently got banned from driving. Jadon Sancho, I think we're going to go in for him next year. Fabrizio Romano has said that Sancho will be leaving Dortmund next summer. What? I'm just on PS4, why? Just on PS4, why? What do you want?
Yeah, we sent it free. A lot of them are in further.
Are there?
Yeah, secondary schools are Tottenham and colleges on 18th of January. Primary schools on 4th, which is Monday. 981 deaths today.
Right.
That is nearly 1,000 people.
Alright.
Scandal. You know what it's just said on telly?
What? Fucks.
Let's all stay at home, New Year's Eve, tomorrow night. And see you in the new year.
Alright.
I know that by spring, we'll be back to normality.
Alright.
I don't think it's going until in spring, no way.
But as I was saying, Fabrizio Romano said Sancho's leaving next summer. He says that Liverpool have inquired about getting him. I think he prefers a move to Liverpool because obviously they're so dominant. You know, Chelsea have been in for him before. Obviously, you know, we've been relentlessly linked with Sancho. He was our number one priority target during the summer transfer window. But the main explanation why we didn't get him is because Dortmund said they wanted £108 million, which is a substantial amount, and we wasn't willing to meet their £108 million valuation. But said a few times during the summer that the personal terms had been agreed and the agent fees had been agreed. Even a contract had been agreed for Sancho, but we couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee, so that was the stumbling block. Fabrizio Romano spoken about the Sancho saga a few times. So too did Bill's Christian Falk. And I think Sancho said a few times during the summer that he wanted to come to Manchester United. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, Sancho made an admission saying it has been hard for him this season, because he hasn't been that consistent this season. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre because Dortmund were in a bad vein of form and they did get beat 5-1 against Stuttgart. But analysing the vast majority of Sancho's career at Dortmund, he's been very consistent. He's got a contract with them, is it till 2022 or 2023? They only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He endured a couple of years at Man City. The main explanation he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. And before City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. Erling Haaland, we could go in for him next year, but like I've already said, his move to Man United could be complicated because of Mini Oriola's poor relationship with Manchester United. David Alaba, he was on our agenda not so long ago. Don't forget the Bayern Munich CEO, who is Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. He said he appears to accept that David Alaba will leave on a free because he's into the final 6 months of his contract with Munich, but he said it's unlikely he will come to Manchester United. Alaba's predominantly a centre-half and a left-back, but he has played as a central midfielder. He's played as a left winger and a right winger before. We're also going to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings. There is still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of. I think next year, Ighalo will go. His loan expires in January. I think we'll sell Lingard. I think we'll offload Phil Jones. I think we'll offload Rojo. We'll offload Sergio Romero because Sergio Romero is now our third choice goalkeeper. Obviously, a lot of United fans are expecting Paul Pogba to leave the club. Mata could be sold. Matic could be sold. I think we could loan Daniel James out. You know, there's been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan because he is now our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. Could Timothy Fosu-Mensah also leave the club? So yeah, we've already seen a lot of players depart the club since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in. We've seen players like Lukaku leave, Herrera leave. Maybe you can say they are two players we should have kept. We've seen players like Darmian leave, Smalling leave, Valencia leave, Young leave, Sanchez leave, Angel Gomez leave. We've also loaned a few players out. Don't forget we loaned Diego Dalot out. We loaned Andres Pereira out. I think we loaned Dylan Levitt out, James Garner. I think we loaned Joe Pereira out again for another season. You know, there is good players at Manchester United, like I've already gone through with you, and there's certainly players this season that have impressed me. Marcus Rashford, he's obviously a very, very good player. Obviously, he was a match winner against Wolves. But apart from the goal, Rashford wasn't that good against Wolves, if I'm going to be honest with you. But in most of his games under Solskjaer, he has been very consistent. He's endured a couple of bad periods. Recently had a problem with his shoulder. He had an injury earlier on this season. And he had a back injury last season, did Rashford. Rashford has been part of the club for several years. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. I just think we need to keep Rashford out wide because that's where he's actually more effective. But sometimes we do play him centrally. Anthony Martial, he's impressed me recently, but earlier on in the season wasn't impressive because he wasn't being clinical enough. And to be honest with you, I thought against Wolves when he came on, he didn't really make much of an impact. He wasted a couple of good opportunities. I thought Martial was good in the game against Leicester, had a disallowed goal. He was good in the Carabao Cup quarter-final against Everton, got his name on the score sheet. I thought he was also good against Sheffield, scored in that game. Don't forget Martial had a 3-match suspension in the league earlier on this season because he got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. Martial was good last season and he was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. He has enjoyed a good 5 years or so now at the football club. Sometimes we play him centrally, sometimes we play him out wide. Ollie was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. Now Edinson Cavani's really impressed me since he's come in. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Now, in his press conference prior to the game against Wolves, he confirmed that Edinson Cavani is definitely a starter for Manchester United. So that's actually bad news for Anthony Martial. And he said that we want to extend Edinson Cavani's contract. And Ollie revealed the first thing that Cavani asked him when he came to the club, and that's whether he could wear the famous number 7 shirt. We did get Edinson Cavani on a free transfer on deadline day. He signed a 1-year contract with an option of a 2nd year. Edinson Cavani was quiet in the game against Wolves yesterday night, but the reason for that is because he didn't get enough service, did he? There wasn't many balls that went through to him that he could latch on. You know, Cavani did have that disallowed goal, didn't he? But obviously it was offside, the goal. Obviously there was talks of a penalty building up to that offside goal. But obviously, you know, the penalty did not get given. As you all know, earlier on this season, Cavani was punished by... he was charged by the FA for misconduct for the racist comment that he put on social media last month. And he said that he's got until the 4th of January to respond to these charges. And it says if he is found guilty, he's facing a 3-match ban. That's minimum. Don't forget he did grab Yerry Mina in the 2-0 win against Everton. So will he be punished for that? Mason Greenwood now, he's impressed me in some games this season. Earlier on this season, Greenwood did have he had personal issues. He had injuries. Don't forget at one point he was out with illness. Ollie's been defending him a lot though this season. Greenwood played yesterday night against Wolves. Started on that right hand side. Like I said, he struggled to get into the game, but he put a fantastic cross into the box to set Bruno Fernandes up for that chance. That Fernandes chance was our best chance of the first half yesterday night. Took us to like the 34th minute to get our first shot on target. But yeah, Mason Greenwood is the foreseeable future for Man United. Bruno Fernandes, he's been impressive this season, but he's been impressive since he came into the club in general. Bruno Fernandes has been at Manchester United now for almost a year. You know, he scored a lot of goals. He's provided assists. He's really good at creating chances. You can say a lot of his goals have come from the penalty spot. You know, Bruno Fernandes got the assist for Marcus Rashford's late goal yesterday. Like I mentioned earlier on, it was a good through ball. He's made the difference in this team, and he's certainly the best signing since Sir Alex Ferguson. He won Player of the Month for November. He's won Player of the Month now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. But Fernandes did say, didn't he, that he came to Manchester to win trophies. He predominantly plays in that number 10. Donny van der Beek, now, he has been impressive when he has played. He seldom plays in the Premier League. He's only made 2 starts in the Premier League this season, and that was against West Ham. And he made his full Premier League debut in the 3-2 win against Southampton, did Donny van der Beek. Didn't play any part yesterday against Wolves. He seems to get more chances in the cup games, doesn't he? But we got Donny van der Beek in a deal worth £40 million. And he can play in like 3 different roles. You can play him as box-to-box midfielder. Number 10, you can put him out wide. But like I've said to you, I think he's more effective in a deeper role. Fred, he's really impressed me this season. He's impressed me in general under Solskjaer. He's enjoyed good games. He's enjoyed a couple of bad games as well. But in the games he has played well in, he's showed good attacking intent. His break-up play's been good. Just needs to read his game better. We paid £47 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk a few years ago now. Fred enjoyed a difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era, because Fred never really got his opportunity under Mourinho. But I've got to say, Fred's confounded his critics. I've got to give Paul Pogba credit, because since he's come back from that ankle injury, he has been very impressive. Obviously didn't start yesterday night against Wolves. Oh, sorry, did start yesterday night against Wolves. Sorry, did Paul Pogba. Weren't so good in the first half, but he improved in the second half. Started to create chances, did Paul Pogba, and he had that long range effort, but good save from the Wolves goalkeeper. You know, Paul Pogba did well in the Sheffield game. He did well in the West Ham game earlier on the season. He made an impact when he came on against RB Leipzig. He's a good player, is Paul Pogba, like I said, when he wants to be. I think he's definitely leaving Manchester United next year. Don't forget, Juventus have offered us Adrien Rabiot and Aaron Ramsey in exchange for Paul Pogba. It says we want a world-class player in exchange, but we have decided we will let Paul Pogba go if our demands are met. Juventus want him for like £50 million. Set me battery a minute. But he has had a long-running transfer saga as Pogba. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United till June 2022. As far as I'm aware at the moment, there has been no talks over getting him a long-term contract at the club. As you all know, Mino Raiola made an announcement just before the RB Leipzig game, saying that Paul Pogba's unhappy at the club and his career is over and he has to leave, and he did mention that he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. And then he obviously made a fresh statement after that. Solskjaer wasn't happy with Mino Raiola. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. So, there you go. I've got to say, I've been very impressed with Luke Shaw. You know, Luke Shaw made an impact when he came on yesterday against Wolves. Made some very good runs down that left channel. And he's created a very good relationship with Marcus Rashford, like Ollie was recently saying. And he's a talented boy. Just injury prone. That's my only element of concern about him. Harry Maguire, I think he's been impressive in some games this season where he's been effective in the air and he showed that ability to play out from the back. You know what I mean? Lindelof, you know, he's impressed me in some games. Wan-Bissaka's impressed me in some games. My element of concern about Wan-Bissaka is his lack of attacking intent and his distribution and that. So there's certainly these players at Man United that have impressed me this season. Now in my next video I will be giving you the preview for the Aston Villa game. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.